Look at that, ladies and gents, exactly on time. We have seen a nice Bitcoin bounce here. We've managed to bounce off that $60,000 price level. In fact, we dipped pretty low over here. No one's really talking about this, but Bitcoin has dipped pretty low here to 59.9. And we've already recovered. And this is the thing that no one's talking about, is that this is a new higher low in the market, right? I mean, we've got to see if we hold this level, right? There's no guarantee that we're actually going to be holding this price level. But if we do, this is a really big deal to me, ladies and gents, because what it signifies is that Bitcoin has been able to punch in a new low, and it's now getting ready to start attacking resistance levels up ahead. And I think that's going to be the real kind of main thing that I'm going to be interested in this market at this stage. It's going to be if Bitcoin can actually start getting above its resistance levels. And we were speaking about this in a recent video. Shout out to those of you that are smashing up those likes and staying subscribed to this YouTube channel. When you head on down there, you're going to get huge bonuses available to you with the links in the description below. Thousands and thousands of dollars available, whether you use Bybit to start trading, Apex, their decentralized sister exchange, or Blowfin, which is a phenomenal alternative to both of them. You get huge bonuses on all of them when you start trading. Check them all out if you're interested. But resistance is what's more interesting, right? Because if you can start getting above resistance levels, then that's what really kind of validates that you are no longer in a downtrend, and that more importantly, you're starting to kind of trend upward with some really nice, meaningful strength. And I think that's kind of what makes all the difference. So it's going to be, for me, about watching how Bitcoin gets up to this price level and how it kind of hits this resistance. If it does, get a small rejection and then continue on, or if this is kind of like a death blow. And I think that also tells us something else which is really big, which is simply that this is now our new low that we've got our eyes on, right? If Bitcoin drops below this, and by the way, this is going to get more strong the higher Bitcoin goes, right? Like, let's say Bitcoin gets up here, this level becomes more significant. Right now, it's very local, and it's not going to be super upsetting if Bitcoin loses it. But put it this way, if Bitcoin managed to do something, I don't know, a little bit like this, right? Like, let's say Bitcoin did this. All of a sudden, this level down here becomes a lot more important, because it's much more clear that this is our high. Right now, it's a lot more local. So for me, it's going to be about seeing how this level matures. If we can start getting some distance from this low, then I'm going to start saying that this is our next real low, and this is going to kind of be our point of invalidation. Right now, that level is down here at about 52, because that's the most recent macro low that we've set. But it might be coming up to about 59. So we've really just got to see if we get some distance from this level. And if we do, ladies and gents, I do want to remind you guys what traditional finance is looking like. Granted, it is a Friday. It's the last trading session of the week. But, I mean, the S&P 500 continues to hold very steady at all-time highs. The dollar has moved up massively, but Bitcoin is not getting smacked down by it. To me, this is a really nice kind of set of factors that are starting to come together now, because when you get the dollar moving up by a lot, then naturally you might expect it to start reversing back down. And if it reverses back down, pardon the hair, if it reverses back down, then you've got more bullish momentum for Bitcoin. At the same time, the S&P 500 at all-time highs, to me, is a major sign that traditional finance is just super happy with the current state of affairs in this market. And again, that paints more good stuff for Bitcoin. Every time you see fear in this market and people losing their minds and getting really upset that they're in altcoins, and fear and greed index dropping to 41 and 37, but you got your boy out here on this YouTube channel, double check that you are subscribed, because it's the best analysis you're going to be getting, and it's right around the clock, super time sensitive. You got me coming here telling you, look, people are getting very scared, but really all we're doing is coming down to support. You ain't going to see me worrying about this, all right? This is actually the kind of best bullish, cocktail of factors that I could be asking for, and I'm absolutely in love with what I'm seeing. So 59K as a low. If we end up sweeping this low right now, it's okay, whatever. I don't want it to happen, but if it happens, it happens. I'm still going to be looking at 58. I think this range is still very, very important. I do think that things could start getting quite ugly for Bitcoin if we lose this level. And like I said, I think that's going to get a lot worse if we start trending higher. So let's talk about going higher now. So up ahead, we've got this $63,000 zone of resistance right here. It's quite clear as resistance, and we did use it as support. We haven't gotten there yet. We're going to be seeing how Bitcoin responds to that level very soon, hopefully. Up above that, we've got 65, which is the important level in my opinion, but we've already swept it. So resistance is quite blurry in these ranges up ahead as far as I'm concerned. I would like to throw a little Fibonacci on here and see what we're looking at, and we are in a 618 golden pocket here. This would be more of a 382 retracement though, because I didn't draw it properly. So we're at 382 Fibonacci resistance here, which yeah, I think definitely explains why this market is topping out a little bit right now. But I think that if we are able to get above it, then quite clearly we've got up until that next golden pocket there at 618 and about it's about $64,000 for Bitcoin. So a little bit of resistance right here. If we can get over this by a couple $100, I think we're golden. I think we're in a really, really good place. Take a look at some of our key indicators and look at that, ladies and gents. Our Ichimoku cloud coming in clutch for Bitcoin. We've been watching this very carefully on this YouTube channel, and it has worked phenomenally. So I am absolutely loving what I'm seeing here. You know, this has resulted in the beginning of a bounce. So far, the bounce is too weak for me to get super excited about, but if we are able to bring ourselves out of this cloud, my God, that's going to be a really, really big deal. This is, however, closing up. We're running out of time. We really need to pull something impressive out of the hat now, this weekend. Otherwise, I think Bitcoin is going to be at more of a risk of kind of rolling over and heading back down deeper into those $50,000 price ranges. So we're going to be watching that to see how that progresses. On the daily time frame, we actually bounced out of resistance, which is hilarious. And we've now started to develop support here, which is also great. If we take a look at this from momentum on the daily, we still have nothing, but on the weekly, it is still phenomenally strong, absolutely beautiful. 4-hour time frame, we're starting to encounter a little bit of resistance, but we're not too worried about such small time frames for this momentum indicator right now, because we don't have that much of a trend on the 4-hour time frame, right? We're actually largely kind of sideways on this more kind of short-term view. So we're not too worried about all that right now. Bitcoin's dominance has taken a very, very small dip down, but that still leaves Ethereum against Bitcoin below 0.4 BTC per token. It is struggling, ladies and gents. It is really struggling. In fact, I want to put this in perspective for you guys. The last time that Ethereum's price came down this low against Bitcoin, it took about 2 entire days for a bounce to begin. And on this occasion here, it has so far nearly been 2 days. So, you know, if we don't start producing a bounce, I'd say in the next 24 hours, this thing's probably dipping down, right? You get these very clear windows of opportunity where, you know, you have a chance to be bullish, but if you ain't taking them, then you're just going to slide down. You're going to be dumping deep down into the crypto abyss. Again, where the fuck is Crypto Kirby Legends? Where is he? We miss him. But yeah, I think this level right here showing us that there is some bounce potential here, but if we don't use that potential anytime soon, then I think we're in trouble. And it just makes sense, right? I mean, usually the first time you get your bounce, but the second time you just roll over and die. And that is usually how Ethereum has been behaving, right? I mean, if we take a look at this one right here, for example, as a classic example, on this occasion here, nice big pump up. On this occasion here, it's slightly higher actually where we found support. We didn't really get a big bounce. We just kind of messed around sideways and then bam, we dipped down really hard again over here. Big bounce coming off this price level. The next time, basically no bounce, and then we slowly dip down, right? So this is the kind of clear body language of these Bitcoin charts. If you look at these coins against Bitcoin, it's really the same thing across the board. You just might have to zoom out a little bit more depending on what you're looking at. Of course, here's Cardano against Bitcoin, but it is at really, really good support, mind you. So a lot of people might actually be loving that right now. I'm still not interested in the altcoin market. I like to keep my capital safe, and so I'm not going to be looking at it too much at this point in the market here. I do want to talk to you about a couple of tweets that are showing some interesting charts, though. Take a look at this one right here. If we go ahead and throw this one on screen, we do have a chart from Elia here, who we've been looking at a little bit on these YouTube videos. I'm just waiting for this to load because nothing is working right now. But right there, this is pulling up. Alt season will start in Q4. That's the tweet. More absolutely bullish hype posting. But, you know, here we have the crypto total market cap, excluding the top 10. So basically every crypto coin that's not in the top 10. And there is a big bounce here heading into resistance at what looks like this is percentage dominance. So yeah, it looks like he is basically saying an alt season is coming, that that's gonna kind of take money out of Bitcoin and the majors. I don't really know if something like that's gonna happen. We'll just have to wait and see and kind of watch how that progresses. But it's interesting nonetheless. So I thought I'd bring that to your attention. If we go ahead and take a look at this tweet right here, just while I wait for this beautiful Wi-Fi to catch up with me, I'm just gonna pull the rest of them up here. and let it do its thing. Let's see if we've got anything here. Bitcoin is ready for a huge bull run, and we've just got a series of triangles and wedges with this broadening wedge indicating an imminent breakout. I have drawn it differently, and the way I've drawn it I think makes a little bit more sense. We've got it drawn like this on my chart, and we've actually already broken out of it, which is fantastic. This is a chart that we've been watching for a long time on this YouTube channel. And it's the thing is, the reason I'm saying I think mine's better is because this is a broadening wedge, and broadening wedges, I mean, look, clearly they work according to previous, characteristics for Bitcoin, but they're just typically not that useful, in my opinion. I should say, more importantly, they're not that reliable. But these kind of descending channels, this is more of a universal language, and that's why I mean, they say the same thing ultimately, but to me, if you can paint something with a little bit more consistency, then that's better, because these broadening wedges, I mean, shit, you can draw them anywhere, it's just not that scientific, but I still agree with the point. So I think that's great. Mr. Crypto here, according to this chart, the real Bitcoin bull market starts in 2 months. And if we take a look at this, we've got just a cyclical calendar base of analysis indicating where halving cycles have taken Bitcoin. So that makes a lot of sense. It's actually exactly in line with all of the halving analysis I've been giving you guys across this year and last year. It's super consistent with what we've been speaking about on this YouTube channel, but you've got another view from another angle with data of what this tends to look like for Bitcoin in terms of its kind of calendar events here. So I still think that we're very much on track for all of the bullish things to happen. I think we're still looking fantastic, and I think we're still looking very, very able to pull something like this off. So I'm loving the look of that. Shout out to Mr. Crypto right here. Give this guy a follow. And let's move back to radar hits here with a big move up on the dollar, which we've already looked at, going crazy on strong jobs data. Is it this, or is it conflict in the Middle East? We don't know, but what we do know is that the US loves making money off global conflict, so I don't know. But we do have a big spike on the dollar here, and again, just no fucks given by Bitcoin, which again to me is a really good sign, because if the dollar is moving up while it's clearly in a weak trend, then I would expect it to default back to moving down. And now that it's moved up, it now has the ability to move down, right? What goes up must come down in that sense, right? Like if you've already moved up, now you can press the red button and move back down. So I think that's really, really good. I think all eyes are on Bitcoin right now and breaking this resistance level. If we get above 63, that's going to be a big shift in momentum for Bitcoin. I don't think 65 is going to be a problem. I think we've got resistance up ahead at 67, but then it's all-time highs. We're in the same picture. I don't want to see us losing 60K right now. If we lose 60K, it is going to be a setback. If we lose 58K, it's going to be kind of over, in my opinion, at least down to 52. All of that could happen really quickly. I still think we can get as low as 44, 48 and still stay very bullish. I maintain those positions with a lot of confidence. I really don't think much would change if we went down anywhere near that low. But, as far as safeguarding the momentum that we've built, as far as, actually using a bullish pattern, because we haven't been doing that very much lately. We've been painting a lot of bullish patterns, we just haven't been using them. As far as actually using them goes, we don't want to lose 60K here, and we certainly don't want to lose 58K here. 63K is resistance, super, super close. We've basically already done it. We're just going to have to see if we can get those next couple of pushes. And if we can, I think we're looking pretty sweet. Overall, this is pretty clear kind of whiplash in the market. Anybody that's trading is, or I should say trading overzealously, is getting screwed. Anybody that's able to exercise a little bit more patience is doing very, very well. So in other words, standard procedure, nothing's changed. Nothing is different. If you want to gain access to the exchanges that I'm trading on, then check them out with the links down below. I'm losing my English a little bit, but you've got huge bonuses here. Bybit's the best in the game, no doubt. They're giving you up to $30,000 in free trading capital when you start trading using my link down below. Apex, their decentralized sister exchange, huge bonuses there too. And Blowfin, giving you many, many bonuses in different ways. They've got very aggressive campaigns. I don't know if I've got the page open right here. No, I don't have the page open, but here's what Blowfin looks like. Huge liquidity. I mean, you got no worries at all. I don't even think this is up to date. One sec. Let me go ahead and refresh this page. Oh no, it is up to date, but yeah, 3 bills, still super, super strong. I think, Bybit by comparison would be like 6, and, they're both huge numbers. So check them out, and obviously always be mindful of your country's local laws and regulations. Don't use these exchanges if you're not allowed to. Your government knows best for you. But there you go, ladies and gents. Hope you've enjoyed this one. You know what to do if you have. I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.